Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to CGL, where we have yet another grand finals here in the EU GM PC tier right here. I am Dextron, joined by Geo. Man, how are you doing tonight?
I'm feeling good. The curse has been lifted. Yesterday was an iconic grand finals match, and we're looking at something that could definitely live up to that level here because it's going to be Experimental Ducks versus Feur. It's two teams that have faced each other before, and it was completely not the way that people thought it would go. It was Experimental Ducks, the underdog, or the underducks, you could say, who actually got the 3-0 against Feur, sending them into the losers bracket.
Yeah, Feur came into this tournament as the number one overall seed here, as you can see as the bracket pops up right there. And, undefeated in the regular season. You look at the Experimental Ducks, they were, like you said, the underdog, essentially. In my opinion, a Cinderella at this point, 3-5 in the regular season. Not a team you would expect to be here in the grand finals by way of the winners finals.
Yeah, Experimental Ducks giving them their only loss then in this run up to this grand finals, making Feur feel like the evil stepsisters to ruin this Cinderella story and regain their place at the top of the Grandmaster tier here. It's going to be an amazing matchup with these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% right there. Like, if you told me this was going to be the matchup at the start of these playoffs here, I would have called you crazy. But the Experimental Ducks have definitely proven to us throughout this entire playoff run here that they came alive at the right time.
Oh yeah, and their roster is one of the reasons that they were able to do that, because the Experimental Ducks, they came out with compositions that really weren't regular, and their players really found strengths in kind of oddball picks, especially bringing out the likes of the Genji.
But speaking of the Experimental Ducks, why don't we introduce you to the starting lineup for them right here? You have Protein Shake and Reggie as your DPS line, Weird Tacos as your tank, Mac Daddy Doo and Picker as your support line right there. Now, Gio, we've seen this team here a little bit. Mac Daddy Doo is brand new to me at least.
Yeah, Mac Daddy Doo wasn't there in the first matchup against Feur, so they'll be facing against the Hardy team for the first time. It was Protein Shake coming out in the Genji a lot that really shook things up against Feur in that first matchup. And let's have a little look at Feur themselves, as they have a very strong roster. They have Iaku and Away there on the DPS line, with Super Sauces on the tank line, with Away's Mercy on the support line, along with Malin. And yeah, if you ever hear us get confused about Away and Away's Mercy, blame the players, not us. They have been a very consistent Pharah Mercy, Echo Mercy duo. However, that's what Experimental Ducks used against them.
Yeah, and you have to imagine Feur made some slight change coming into this one here, because the Experimental Ducks really shut down Away and Away's Mercy that last game, and it just really gave Feur a lot of problems.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, once Away's been forced off of the kind of flying two-trick kind of vibe that they were giving off, they just struggled a lot. But as we look at what the first map is going to be in this series, it's Nepal. And Nepal has, I mean, every map has a way to bring out that Far Mercy or the Echo Mercy in a very strong way. Even the one with the roof, the Sanctum, is
Mhm.
what the map is called, and that's going to really play into the strength of Away. But of course, Ducks are going to expect it.
Yeah, they're going to absolutely expect here, and they're going to try to do the exact same thing they did last time, shut down that pharmacy combo and then go from there. It worked out for them last time, sweeping Feur in 3 maps, something that I think both me and you were even surprised by. But looks like we're heading into Nepal here.
Yes, and it will be Sanctum to begin. Can Experimental Ducks continue to come alive at the right time to bring this story to a conclusion and beat Feur for a second time? Or will Feur get their revenge against the only team to give them an L since the start of the regular season? Experimental Ducks, they're already looking on a composition we've seen them be very consistent with. It's that ball composition with Protein Shake there on the Genji again. Not changing what works, which is I love to see. And of course, Feur bringing out the Echo Mercy here on Sanctum, and it's going to allow the Echo of Feur to be able to duel Reggie there on the Echo with that pocket quite easily.
Super Saucy immediately grappling around to the back line there for the Experimental Ducks. They try to roll through some members, but don't find a lot of success there. Now you finally see Weird Tacos come back in and do the exact same thing, only to Super Saucy though, and now they're trying to focus there on Malin. They're going to be able to find them, Reggie's able to take down Away's Mercy as well. Away though, able to find Reggie though.
Yeah, Super Saucy was kind of forced to play in a more of a peel-orientated way, where Tacos was just more aggressive with it, and that's what's allowed them to get this initial control here. I think Feur really need to get their tank into a more aggressive standpoint so they can take some space.
Yeah, and you immediately see just Experimental Ducks allowing Feur to maybe take the point here right now. They really want to play the space back, but again, it's just a dive there onto Malin. Reggie able to take down Away here, and Experimental Ducks just continuing to find kill after kill here.
I mean, so far, yes, we've only seen 2 fights, but the story looks to be continuing. Experimental Ducks are very aggressive, very forward-thinking, and at that point, you're just outpacing your opponent. I'd love to see if you really come up here with a little bit of a quicker play. There's no ults on the board so far, apart from Iaku, who could really turn things around with a pulse.
Yeah, it looks like Feur's going to try to take this point or fight to the point right now, which honestly might be a good idea for them, but Reggie able to find Iaku out. Malin dies again really fast. However, Feur here might actually be able to take point, but you see the minefields coming out here from Super Sauce on point. Half their team already dead, though. Away able to find Protein Shake, but I feel like this fight is pretty much done here.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about Away being a very strong Echo, but Reggie right now, despite not having a pocket, despite having that massive disadvantage, they are coming up big right now. They're doing better than Away is right now, who is struggling to find value.
Oh, and the minefield coming out there from Weird Taco in the absolute worst spot. Reggie able to find Iaku out there again, and essentially right now Feur coming into final fight territory, and they're just finally starting to get some of their ultimates here. Away get a duplicate into this Genji right now as the Casino Rush comes out here from Picker, and you're just trying to see anyone on Feur find anyone for the Experimental Ducks, but Picker able to find Malin out there. The beat coming out from Mac Daddy Do as Protein Shake pops their blade, make it 1.5 there to get the duplicate there on to Away. Mac Daddy do find Super Saucy. Away able to find Protein Shake, but I feel like this point is pretty much done here.
Yes, that's all that she's going to write here for this point, and to break that down for you, Away went for the copy on the Genji, but just didn't find anything, and the copy ran out without the blade being even at 50%, which is just not really what you're looking for, and kind of plays into what we're talking about, where Away goes off of the flying characters and kind of struggles a bit, but even on Echo right now, Reggie is really just outpacing Away a lot and really getting that heavy superstar feel for that individual player, because they're in the kill feed a lot here. They're getting a lot of these eliminations following up brilliantly. Weird Tacos swapped over to the Reinhardt. Going to look for more of a brawl. We'll probably look to control the point here. In fact, actually, no, going for the high ground. A bit of a disadvantage in this situation for the Ryan, but I mean, it's Experimental Ducks.
Yeah, but look at this Super Sauce immediately able to find Reggie out right there. They're trying to get rid of Mac Daddy Do, and they're able to do that as well. Feur looking like they're getting a much better start this map than they did last time, and now you immediately see them go after Weird Tacos here as they charge out of that fight.
Yes, I talked about how the Ryan had a disadvantage in the route that they went. It's because it's such an open field, and when you have that diva, they can just get the run of the place a little bit better. That's why you see them kind of rotating now to point, but we're going to get stuck in this rotation.
Reggie falls here early away, starting to get going on this Echo right now, but you see Experimental Ducks take the fight to the point. Weird Taco's next one to fall here. There goes Mac Daddy Do, and Feur starting off really strong right now.
Yeah, and Weird Taco's not getting the value they want, is going to swap over. I do prefer this choice. They're not playing the Reinhardt the way that you really want to be doing so, and that rotation, you're just going to get caught out all the way. Speaking of away, they're going to get this duplicate very soon. They've been doing much better here on Village.
Weird Taco focusing on that high ground, trying to get rid of Malin right now like they did the entirety of last map. Picker, though, able to find Malin, immediately traded out there for Reggie. Mac Daddy Do falls as well. Feur picking up the kills they need here as Experimental Ducks try to take this fight here to point. You see Iaku recalling themselves out of that one here, but Super Saucy able to find Protein Shakes, and now Weird Taco's rolling out.
This is a complete turnaround from the story we saw on Sanctum. It's now Feur really overstepping here, actually, and oh no, Experimental Ducks are going to really utilize this advantage.
Picker able to find Super Sauce out of that mech right there. Yako, though, finds Picker right back with their Pulse Bomb away, able to find Mac Daddy Do. They've been dying really early in these fights here, not allowing Experimental Ducks to get anything going. Reggie, though, able to find one, making both supports there for Feur. This is their best opportunity, but away able to shut them down.
Yeah, Away and Iaku absolutely stepping up on the DPS line, being the heroes to keep it in the control of Feur. 90% now. It's going to be a bit of a panic for the Ducks. They will be able to touch, and they will have this Kitsune Rush. They can put this on the point and get a nice, solid control of it. Oh.
We see the touch there from Protein Shake. Reggie immediately falls there as Malin finds her there. Super Saucy finds Picker just after they pop their Kitsune Rush right now. Experimental Ducks need to have a miracle happen here. Minefield come out there on point, but with Mac Daddy Do falling, their bomb coming out from Super Saucy will get rid of all those mines. It's really all down to Weird Tacos here and Protein Shake, but as I say that, Protein Shake dies, so does Weird Tacos. We're going to be heading to a 0.3 here on Nepal.
What a strong counter punch coming out here from Feur. From Sanctum being 100-0 against them to Village being 100-0 in their favor. Like, we talk about controls always going 99-99 in overtime fights, but this is the complete opposite. If you expect this pattern to continue, you'd expect 99-99 here on Shrine. Experimental Ducks, however, they're not going to come out with the Reinhardt begin with by the looks of it, and I think that's a good call. The Rein just doesn't have the movement, even with the Lucio, to really have as much output as a D.Va who can use those micro missiles at range, get that D.Va Matrix to counteract Reggie and take them out in the sky, as both these teams coming out here to take Nepal and the first point in this Grand Final series.
Yeah, each team just waiting for someone to poke their heads out here right now. Reggie going above, away here, gonna try to beam him down. Oh, so close yet so far away. The pockets right now playing a huge difference in that fight there in the sky. Mac Daddy Do, though, gets incredible. Protein Shake able to find Malin. Whoever away, immediately able to trade out there for Mac Daddy Do. Experimental Ducks and Feur both fighting on point right now, but Iaku finds Reggie.
Yeah, Mac Daddy Do goes down. That means Reggie doesn't have that pocket. That's why they've went down, and Feur has the advantage here as they'll just walk away with this fight. And now you're talking about, you know, you're playing into the strength of Feur. You're playing into the fact that they have that echo rather than counteracting it, and that's where Experimental Ducks found their strength. And I'd like to see them maybe not try and match where Feur is strong, because they're kind of playing into their own game there. Moving into this next fight, Iaku is a little bit ahead in the Pulse Bomb game. Just used recall there, however, so is going to be out of the fight momentarily as the Experimental Ducks rotate in and look to set up Reggie for success.
Yeah, but you look at Reggie and Away right now in that ultimate fight. Away almost has that duplicate. Reggie not even at 50% right now. But Experimental Ducks desperately trying to get something going here. Away just popping in some shots in the sky right there. You did hear Weird Taco's pile drive into the ground. Yaku trying to get rid of Mac Daddy Do here. They're so low. They still have their eyes set on them. They're going to be able to find them there. A huge early pickoff there for Feur, and they also find Reggie as well. However, full support's down for Feur right now. This is the best opportunity that Experimental Ducks have had this round.
Yeah, it's scrappy, but ultimately the advantage of taking out the Mercy early just gives you long-term um, compounding strengths, and going to get the temporary mines out for a moment there. Immediate recontest here. Weird Tackle's going to have the mines very shortly, but again, Reggie's struggling.
Yeah, much like the first point here on Nepal, we saw Experimental Ducks finding these early pickoffs. Feur, though, has basically turned the tables on these last 2 points here and been finding the early pickoffs. Either it's been onto Reggie most of the time or Mac Daddy Do here, and that's been their success so far.
Yeah, they are going to have this Kitsune rush. 90%, they really need to find something with it. Trying to focus down this Ana, but again struggling, and Mac Daddy Do again goes down.
And so does Reggie right here. We see the minefields coming out there from Weird Taco's gonna get rid of most of those minefields right there with a bomb from Super Saucy right here, but overtime has commenced right now. Feur looking to close this out. Super Saucy finds Picker here. The Nano coming out here onto a way. That's gonna allow them to pump in so much more damage here. They're gonna get pocketed, get healed back up right now, but Experimental Ducks running out of time, running out of bodies here.
Yeah, they're really trying to hold on to this one, but again, Iaku in a way just getting those eliminations and tearing them down, even with this duplicate.
Duplicate coming out there immediately exposed. Here comes a Kitsune rush from Picker. They need to be able to find something off this protein shake. Does find one. Picker does find Iaku right back, and they're able to flip the point. Experimental Ducks keeping themselves alive in this map.
Yeah, Picker with that rush was a little late with it, but they got the flip. But again, they're still losing members. It might not be a long control for them.
Weird Taco's gonna do their best here just to spin around, try to keep this point alive right now, but the entirety of Feur right there, gonna make sure it's not there for long. Reggie comes back in, but as they come back in the door, they immediately have that door slammed in their face. Feur retakes the point right now. Protein shake back, gonna only touch just to keep overtime alive.
Yeah, and that overtime is going to tick away as Feur already changing the narrative from the previous time these teams faced each other. It's now 1-0 in favor of the near undefeated team of Feur, and away really walking, well, I guess flying away with this one in those last 2 maps. And I gotta say, Dex, like you don't, there's a few things you don't do, right? You don't challenge the Hulk to an arm wrestling match, and you don't challenge like Iron Man to a chess match, right? You don't meet your opponent at their strength, like what's happening right now. Experimental Ducks are just playing Feur's game right now.
Yeah, and honestly, Feur looked like a team that came out here with a little bit of anger. Remember, Experimental Ducks handed them not only the first loss in the playoffs, but their first loss of the season. This is a huge revenge game for them with all the stakes right now. They're playing for to be the champions here.
Yeah, the champions, the #1 of this entire regular season, to be the creme de la creme, the team to beat. It's bragging rights. It's everything here, and overall with the records, you expect Feur to be the one to have the edge, and right now that's what it looks like. And it did not look like it last time these teams met, as it like I gotta say, it was a stomp last time. Experimental Ducks completely sidelined Feur, but it seems like either the coaching staff of Feur or the players themselves, they've done their VOD review, they've done their due diligence, and now they're ready for what Experimental Ducks are bringing. I want to see Experimental Ducks not play into away, because their strength came, like we said, in forcing a way off of those characters that they're strong at and grounding them.
Yeah, absolutely right there. But we do know what our second map of the night is, Gio. We're heading to King's Row.
Ooh. Imagine that shock and horror, King's Row showing up in an EU tournament game. But yeah, we saw this last time, and that kind of tells us what's going to kind of happen here. And we are going to see the Reinhardt come out from the side of Experimental Ducks, but they will still play that Genji. And that little nugget of information is what kind of disjointed Feur in a way, because it's a hybrid composition that Experimental Ducks play, and it's not something you regularly scrim against. It's not something you prepare for. I mean, hell, there's 54,000 plus possible compositions in Overwatch 2 alone, and you can't prepare for all of them.
No, you cannot. But Kings Row is definitely known as a brawl map. If you watched Overwatch League a little bit yesterday, I saw a lot of teams actually running dives with Winston. But I still expect to see the brawl come out here for these teams. Looks like Feur will be defending here first. Experimental Ducks will be the attacking team first.
Yes, and Feur on their defense, you may recall, brought out Wrecking Ball last time. And we weren't too sure the value it would get, but I think both of us kind of ate our words a little in how long they were able to hold first point. Ultimately, they didn't win the map, but their hold on first point lasted much longer than Experimental Ducks' point. So Experimental Ducks are going to know that that's what they're going up against. I would love to see a prepared rotation because you've got no excuse for not preparing for the team you're against right now in a tournament like this. I mean, I guess you've got some excuses. It's still a community tournament, but really, there's no excuse. You should be prepared for what your opponent coming out for. I want to see Experimental Ducks, well, they're currently on Doom, but I think they're going to switch back to Rhine. I want to see them just rotate quickly, succinctly, and not give Super Saucy on the ball too much to play with here.
Yeah, and one thing to mention right here as the fight gets going, Giffle coming in here for Weird Taco, so they're definitely trying to maybe have a brawl tank come in this map. Maybe Weird Taco's a little bit better as that ball tank. So right now you immediately see Experimental Ducks walk through the choke point, want to get control of this point, but Giffle getting incredibly low. Away going to be able to take him out there with a lot of help from their friends. Iaku finds Reggie as well. Protein Shake able to find one. However, that might be the only thing they get. However, MacDaddy does find one, but this fight is pretty much already over.
It is over, but there is going to be a quick re-engage. You won't have Protein Shake for it, and MacDaddy do. If they can survive here, then it's a pretty solid recontest, and you saw them force the point, and they're already on the Winston. Now they just want to trade for those backlines.
Yeah, and Away's Mercy dying late in that fight does force Feur to kind of fall back, allow Experimental Ducks to get a tick here, maybe even allow them to get to Iaku, though. Finding Picker out early is a huge pick there for Feur, but Experimental Ducks keeping the fight going here on point. Away able to find MacDaddy. Super Salty just comes in, pile drives that back line there for the Experimental Ducks. Protein Check finds Away there. And now Feur just trying to clean up this fight here. They have forced the Experimental Ducks here to fall back, though.
Yeah, slap a damage boost onto an Ashe, and that's a one-shot in a lot of scenarios. Recontest is going to be quick, but again, they are going to struggle with Hayaku just punishing them.
Minefields coming out here from Super Salsa. Iaku, like you said, punishing Protein Shake there again, and just look at the pressure that they're applying to Experimental Ducks right now. This looks like an entirely different Feur team than what we saw in the Winners Final.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more respect being given to Experimental Ducks. There's a lot more kiting happening. They're not overextending a lot because they know that Experimental Ducks can bring it when it counts. Now, this blade is ready. It's going to be pretty neutral. You can beat to help it. Ultimately, it's going to struggle without a nano.
Nano coming out here onto Away, and oh, what a nice deflect there by Protein Shake. They're desperately trying to find anyone else, but just no one close to them. Away is able to trade out there onto Reggie, though. Protein Shake finds Away. Huge trick for them, but Bob coming out here from Iaku is going to kind of keep the Experimental Ducks off the point here for a little bit. Away, though, able to get res by their Mercy. Giffle finds Iaku here. The fight just happening on point. The Suzu here being invested a little bit early by Picker, but Experimental Ducks think they can really win this fight. The different fit from Away going on to that Winston. They're just trying to find anyone. Giffle throwing hands, able to find Away's Mercy. Now Away gonna throw some hands of their own here, try to get some revenge for taking their Mercy away, and they're gonna be able to onto MacDaddy Do.
Aku's going to be back nice and quick here on the Tracer also, but Experimental Ducks still finding eliminations, although they're not getting point. Because they have been forced off of it. Feur in a very strong position right now. We are below a minute. Now, there's only one third of the point to be controlled here, but Feur, they need to be careful. They don't have these ultimates ready to counteract what Reggie's going to bring in this duplicate.
They're going to duplicate here into this trace. They're going to try to get a pulse bomb built up here fast. Protein Shake just charges in, gets antied here. Going to try to get out with their life. They're going to be able to survive the anti here. And now Reggie does have this pulse bomb ready to go. They're going to pop it, not going to be able to find anyone. Picker finds a way though. Protein Shake finds Malin. Down goes Yaku as well. This is looking to be a good fighter for the Ducks. They're able to get the rezzing away's mercy. Now all they have to do is get rid of this pesky ball.
And they finally secure it, and it was a very similar first point hold there as Feur held in amazingly, but once they were forced off of the Ash, they had to adapt to a different playstyle and play a little bit more flanky. Malin might get herself caught out here. Yeah, and Giffel does find it, and I do want to see Giffel going for the Ana, really just going for the trades. That's what the Winston's all about. Nice, fast-paced fights, unlike Mac Daddy Do, who loves to chill it on the point.
Away's Mercy able to get Malin back into this fight here, but I love what the Experimental Ducks are doing here. If you know that the team is not going to hold archers, you want to try to get as aggressive as you possibly can. Yaku, though, finding Reggie out there. It's going to force them to fall back a little bit. Giffel falls as well, and that should be basically a team fight done here for Feur as Yaku finds Mac Daddy Do.
Feur are mastering the sort of like the counter attack, the counter strike, not the game, the counter strike method of play here on Overwatch. You know, as Experimental Ducks go in, it's just the immediate counter rotation, and Feur are just with it. They're going to have the sustainability. Can they survive this blade?
Oh, Protein Shake able to find one. They're trying to find anyone else, but it's only going to be one this time, much like it was last time. Picker, though, able to find Malin. Mercy's away, actually able to find Reggie there. And look at that, they're able to get a way back up there, but it does cost them their life. Experimental Ducks, this is their fight to win here. Yaku, though, in the backline, just causing havoc. Able to find Mac Daddy Do there. Now they have their eyes set on Protein Shake. Down goes Protein Shake, and that's going to force a fallback here from the Ducks.
Yeah, and when these fights get to that chaotic level, it's Feur that just has the edge. They're a little bit more organized in these situations, and of course, their comp likes that. Experimental Ducks, they need to be playing quicker. They need to be getting quicker eliminations and just clamp down on this backline because Ana's pretty much free.
Beat coming out here from Mac Daddy Do, supporting their team right now. The Nano back onto Away here. Not going to be able to find a lot as Giffel does find Away's Mercy there. And they find Malin. Already a good start to this fight. Suzu being invested there by Picker to make sure their team stays alive. Yaku, though, able to find Mac Daddy Do with a stick there with their pulse bomb. Protein Shake finds Away. And they find Yaku. This is a great start here. Super Saucy, though, just going to roll away to make sure they stay alive.
Yeah, and they will, crucially. That's going to give some ult percentage towards the support line, and Malin actually on the Moira now. It's going to offer a little bit more escape and survivability for them, but it is less synergistic. That ball is going to have less support in those prolonged fights, and it's an opportunity to burn them down for the Ducks.
Reggie here duplicating into this ball. Away, though, able to find Protein Shake out there. They had a blade about to be ready. A huge pick coming out here early. The minefield's coming out from, I believe it's Super Saucy there on point. Yaku finds Mac Daddy Do. The mines find Giffel, and it's all down to Reggie as they get out of their duplicate here. Back into the Echo form. They find one, but that's going to be all they find before Away takes them out.
And that's shades of Experimental Ducks on the previous match. That's pretty much where the payload got to in the last match. But on the other side, we are flipping things up here. It is a time warp, and that Cinderella story, well, the shoe ain't being found, it's being smashed right now. Ducks in a very tough position. Feur just have that order in the team fights. When things are getting chaotic, they're not buckling, they're not giving in to playing instinctively. They're really playing into the strength because so much space is being created for Ayaku to pretty much be in the back line of Experimental Ducks for free and with very little pressure being applied. And that's the issue. A few of their players are not really getting enough pressure applied to them. Malin on the Ana was very free for a lot of that. Ayaku on the Ash survived for much longer than they should have when they were on it. And Ducks, they are going to swap back to the Reinhardt. It's what they've clearly practiced a lot here. And now the issue is there's going to be so many different angles of attack coming from Feur who are keeping on this same composition, Giffel really needs to be extremely careful where they position themselves, especially if Ayaku comes out on the Widow. I doubt that. I imagine we'll see either the Tracer or the Ashe, likely the Tracer, to create yet another angle of attack. Giffel is just not going to have a fun time here, basically.
Yeah, and you see Yaku immediately swap off that Widowmaker there. We've seen it a lot here. Normally the Widows try to find at least one headshot or one shot out early, try to find an early pick, but no one peeking their head out that time. They immediately swap over to this Tracer. You did see Super Saucy there in the background. They immediately pile drive here onto the supports. Actually, no, it's on the Protein Shake. Malin able to take him out here. Already a great start here for Feur. Super Saucy here does have their eyes set on to Giffel, but Mac Daddy Do will fall there.
Yeah, these fights, they're quick and they are vicious. Feur is in predator mode right now, and Experimental Ducks, all they can do right now is run, because they're about to be cooked up into a curry because Feur are having their dinner with them.
Yeah, but you immediately see Giffel get back here to try to contest this point. Reggie able to find Super Sauce there, and down goes Malin as well. Experimental Ducks coming back into this fight, finding a couple picks here.
Yeah, Protein Shake coming up big there at the end, and it was a nice recontest, and they have grasped onto this point, and it's incredibly indicative of the heart of Experimental Ducks. They're going to come up to Kitsune Rush soon, pardon me, and they're going to be able to utilize that to keep control of this point with this final tick, all that Feur need to secure.
Yaku here playing in the backline. Picker seems to know where they are right now, but here comes Super just pile driving into the ground there with some help there from away. They're able to take care of Reg there. Stick coming out here onto Giffel, gonna be able to help them get them down as away. Picks up that kill as well. Yaku able to finally find one there onto Mac Daddy Do. Protein Shake trying to do their best, but Yaku gonna be able to take care of them. And Picker, ooh, that's not a good situation, as they will fall in the first point going over to Feur.
Yeah, not getting that Kitsune Rush out, that was the downfall there of Experimental Ducks, and again, there's just a speed of play coming out from Feur. You can tell that their training or practice coming into this match was just to hit them hard and basically confuse them, make them look like a headless duck, make them look like they don't know what they're doing. That's the idea here. However, Protein Shake is going to have the blade. They've come up massively before, and they are going to have this Kitsune Rush with it if they can get engaged nicely.
Huge minefield there.
Oh.
Immediately forces everyone there on Experimental Ducks to try to fall back, but they fall right back into Yaku and away. And now everyone here for Feur is starting to get very aggressive as they need to right now. But, you know, still a lot of time in this time bank. Experimental Ducks just need to try to win one team fight here.
There is an ounce of hesitation from Experimental Ducks at the start of these fights, and Feur taking advantage of it. Away is going to get a copy here, likely onto the Reinhardt, and they're going to have to watch for this shatter in what could be the final fight here.
The High Noon and the Blade being invested here. Reggie able to find a way. The Blade from Protein Shake not finding anyone just yet and will not find anyone. Away's Mercy able to get away back into the fight. Reggie, they'll be able to take care of one. Support Mac Daddy taking care of the other. Now they're duplicating there from away into the Rhine. Not going to last long. Super, though, able to find Reggie here. And away, not going to be able to get away as Experimental Ducks finally find a team fight here just to kind of restabilize.
Yeah, and they kind of gave the playbook of Feur back at them for a moment there, where they forced them into a bad position and didn't let Away ult until the very end. And Away is actually going to swap off onto the Pharah here, and only really Reggie can contest the Pharah, and it's going to be a lot of damage. What's going on down there?
Mac Daddy able to find a huge pick out there early. Super Sauce has been essentially just causing a lot of disruption in that backline, or the entirety onto the entirety of the Experimental Ducks there. Them falling will basically take off about 20 seconds here.
Yeah, and that's what you want. You need to burn as much time as you can, because look at that, the checkpoint is right there. And Feur, they're going to be coming in with a nano, likely onto Away, so that they can go nice and deep here and supply a lot of damage. Mac Daddy do, however, with the beat to sustain their team.
Away getting the nano here. They already find one. The shatter coming out from Giffel does find Super, but they forget about the cart.
No.
Feur wins off the back of a C9.
That's too experimental. At a certain point, you just have to play the game as is.
Oh. This is not how you want to see things go here. It really looked like Experimental Ducks were starting to get a little bit of a foothold on that defense, but the shatter into the charge just did it there for them.
I can't believe it. I mean, the Ducks are certainly not in the pond now because it was left completely unattended and it's been drained by Feur. And now we're at the situation where already in this series, it's barely started in terms of time, and Feur are already at 2. Like this is a blitzing attack coming out from Feur, and Experimental Ducks, they just don't seem prepared. There's a certain level of preparation that seems to be lacking from the Ducks, where they're just kind of playing their own game, where Feur certainly have a battle plan specifically against the Ducks from their previous battle that's really working in their favor.
Yeah, honestly, I still think they're mad about losing a game here, and it just seems like the Experimental Ducks, like you said, haven't been able to adapt or haven't been able to really, figure out what Feur is doing here, because Feur has definitely figured out the Experimental Ducks here.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that first loss was a bit of the drunken master kind of vibe coming from Feur. We're like, oh yeah, oh no, you beat us. Whatever will we do? But really, it's just a feint to kind of lower the guard of Experimental Ducks for the grand finals to get that 1-2 counter punch. And right now, Feur are furiously getting through this, and they ain't paid by the hour. This series, if it continues at this speed. Considering that push will be not the next map set but the one after Escort, this series could last like less than 90 minutes. This could be an extremely quick grand finals.
Yeah, but Experimental Ducks gonna pick a map here that they feel like they can definitely win on, and it was the map that they beat Feur on in the winners finals. We're going to Rialto.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Rialto was the map that was the final crux, the final nail in the coffin for Feur in the previous match. But King's Row was flipped from what last happened. Rialto could very well be the same. I mean, yes, they were able to counteract away last time, but right now they're playing maps that plays into away. King's Row, you can play the Fire, you can get lots of value over those rooftops, and Rialto, famously you can play the Echo, famously you can play the Fire. So could this be a bit of a bait to make Feur kind of a little too comfortable? Will there be a counteraction to the way that Feur are playing? Because Experimental Ducks, they really need to bring the vibe that they had in the last match right now into this one, or they're going to be completely wiped here by Feur.
Yeah, but as we head into the map here, looks like the Experimental Ducks making some changes here again. Weird Tacos coming back in on the tank for this map, but Premier coming in here for Reggie this time on the DPS. So again, they're making some swaps here. It's definitely, at this point, a per map kind of comp here that they want to run with these players.
Yeah, and you like to see that. You like to see these different players come in and out and show their different strengths from each other. And that's what we're getting right now with the tank line being swapped in and out. And of course, Premier coming in here. And Premier is someone who we didn't see a lot of, but obviously coming in with the Widow pick. Now, that's going to really be a strength against especially Hayaku, because that soldier cannot duel a Widow at long range and isn't going to supply that burst damage needed. I'm kind of curious what they're looking for in this soldier, because it's not really a meta pick. It's a lot of tickle damage. Of course, you can pocket it, but Away is going to need that pocket now that there is a Widow on the board.
Yeah, but it looks like Primary here going to be focusing in on this Echo Mercy combo, as you immediately see them get a shot there onto Away, but the pocket will be able to keep them alive here. Super Saucy up here, going to just pile drive there onto the card, stop the progress of that card here for the moment, but it's only them here as they're going to roll back to their team.
Ooh, Protein Shake going very low, and the follow-ups there, it's vicious.
It's vicious, but it's being immediately traded out there. Protein Shake and Primaire, both DPS here for the Experimental Ducks, just gonna fall. And honestly, right now, you're seeing the Experimental Ducks get very aggressive, but they honestly had a lot of free time just to push this card if they wanted.
They really do. Feur are just looking so strong, and however, the soldier isn't getting too much here. It's allowing kind of like a sustainability with the healing mostly rather than like a lethality, but it's super saucer right now. It's coming up massively, already at 85% towards mines, where Taco's only at 60, and that just showcases how much the tank of Feur is just really deadlifting a lot of these chaotic fights.
Yeah, Primaire swapping over to the Tracer right now. Protein Shake getting incredibly low already early in this fight. The Lucio going to come up to here over to help. Now the minefield come out in this room up here. Protein Shake kind of trapped right now. Gets out of there, luckily with their life, but the fight's still going on here. Primaire going to be focusing in there on Melee away though. Able to find Protein Shake, immediately trading it out right there. Experimental Ducks need to try to find this next pick if they want to push the carpet away. Going to shut that down by finding Mac Daddy Do.
Yeah, and there goes Pecker at 98% to Kitsune Rush. You have no healing, and that's the end of that. And Primaire struggling with the Tracer. Well, actually, I say that has Pulse Bomb, so that's not really a fair thing to say at all. But not finding the eliminations is a better way of saying that then. They are going to have this Kitsune Rush to push in here, but I mean, the kite from Feur is there, and they can just go away from this Kitsune Rush. You really want to use it mid-fight once those resources have been drawn out.
Oh, but look at that. As we saw Super there dive in onto the backline, you see Weird Tacos and Protein Shake dive onto the backline of Feur. Super Sauce able to find Mac Daddy Do, though, out the Nano coming out here onto Super Sauce. This ball is strong right now, but Protein Shake finds Malin there. Super Sauce trying to find anyone that can. Iaku does find Protein Shake. They do have their visor ready to go here. Suzu being invested here early by Picker, but they're going to teleport themselves out of there and try to focus on the cart away. Though Away's Mercy able to get Malin back in this one. So Feur still very strong right now. As you hear Weird Tacos pop the minefields in that backline, they find Malin, who just got res back in this fight. Here come the visor from Iaku. They're getting pocketed right now. The beat coming out from Mac Daddy Do, as well as Primaire finds Iaku. Weird Tacos finds Away's Mercy, and this is looking to be a good fight for the Ducks.
I wouldn't be shocked if we see Iaku swap here, yeah, going to match the Tracer so they can get the duel onto Primaire. There will be another fight here, 40 seconds on the board. Super Sauce can come in here with the mines and muck up the attacking team, but you want to see Protein Shake come up with a big blade here to secure this first point.
Mines coming out there from Super, just as you said, they're on the card, so it's going to be very hard to cap anything right now. But the blade being invested here by Protein, they're going to try to go after Away, but Away duplicates right into them as they come up. Iaku able to find Primaire here. The Kitsune Rush coming out from Picker, just trying to do anything to keep this Ducks push going right now. But Feur just around the card, same as those mines. Away not being able to build up their own blade in this duplicate, will fall out of that form without getting that duplicate right there. But you mean seeing Protein Shake get bowled into there, or get some help there from Weird Tacos as they find Iaku now. Mac Daddy Do focusing in here on Malin. They need some help. Primaire, though, is going to be able to find them that help with a double pulse bomb kill. This is looking very good for the Ducks. They just need to try to get rid of these last couple members of Feur. Minefields coming out here from Weird Tacos. This should seal the deal. They just need to be able to get rid of Super, and they get rid of Iaku as well. But Away and Away's Mercy right there. However, it won't stop them from capping this first point.
Yeah, that first point's waters off a dark. Oh no, I messed it up. I was planning that one as well. Oh, I'm all flustered because of these fights. I mean, Primaire really came up massive with that pulse bomb. That double is what secured it for them in the end. But you have to question Protein Shake's target focus with these blades. They're always going for Away, and Away is literally just going up the ladder and being out of reach. I would love to see Malin be the main target. I mean, that Ana is right there for the taking, for Protein Shake, Primaire, and Weird Tacos to be diving, but right now Malin is just not being focused enough. I mean, well, here we go.
As you say that, they fall, but Primaire falls right before them there. The fight continuing here. Both supports down for Feur at the moment. Pulse bomb coming out there from Iaku. Not going to be able to find anyone. Away falls as well. Super though able to find Picker. A nice pick to keep this fight alive. Maybe try to contest this point right now. But you see Tacos here just go right after Iaku, but it's going to force Iaku to fall back and the rest of their team.
Yeah, this is what you want to see from the Ducks. Nice, aggressive, continuous pushing here. Super Sauce is going to bring up the mines very soon, but Protein Shake close to that blade, and you really want to see it go for the Ana to get as much value as it can.
Minefield coming out here on point. Protein Shake gonna get found out there. Mac Daddy Do invested their beat into that one, but I don't think they actually helped anyone out with it. Malin able to find their Primaire falls. At this point, Experimental Ducks, you just want to get out of this fight without losing anyone else.
Yeah, Mac Daddy Do didn't get what they wanted with the beat, like you said, and now that's a massive tool that they won't have in this next fight. And beat is a very important ultimate to sustain, especially when the likes of Away is just going to be supplying so much damage, especially with the nano coming up from Malin. It's going to go into Away and allow them to get up solid barrage here. And with this being potentially the final fight of the Experimental Ducks attack here, 20 seconds on the board, watch out for Away getting this nano.
Super able to find Mac Daddy Do is a huge pick for them. Here comes the blade from Protein Shake, but they're anti here. Primaire able to find Yaku Picker, able to find Melee, but here comes the barrage from Away. It's huge. It finds 3.
That is more than they could have even asked for, and it cancelled the blade also. And Picker, who's holding on to Kitsune Rush for Overwatch free, yet again is going to not be able to utilize it. There's going to be desperation touches, but you really need to get your Kitsune Rush going.
Kitsune Rush coming out here. Mac Daddy Do falls early, but they immediately traded out there onto Malin, so it's an even fight right now. Experimental Ducks trying to find some picks here. They desperately need to. Iyako coming in close. They do have that pulse bomb ready to go. Primaire falls here first. It's looking for like the beginning of the end here. Protein Shake able to find 1, but that pulse bomb able to find Protein Shake. Feur doing what they need to do here to end this round right now. They just have to get rid of Picker and Weird Tacos. Mac Daddy Do back, but they find Picker. Here comes a minefield from Super on the point. Mac Daddy Do falls. It's really just up to Tacos right now, and it's Tacos versus the world, and the world will win that time.
Well, you have to take it as it is, and you did get past first point, and that's not something that was written on the wall. That's something that you struggled to get, so you're happy with that if you're Ducks, because you at least got it through the point. But it's shades of King's Row. It's again just struggling, just a shade off of that second checkpoint. It's very similar to what we saw on the streets of London, and you'd think that the Ducks have a little bit more of a natural habitat, given the canals and all the water available for them. But again, they're continuing to struggle. Perhaps people just aren't feeding them enough bread, and they just don't have that energy to go forward. But on the defense, they are going to bring out that Widowmaker yet again. Definitely the strategy here. There we go. I've been caster baited on the defending team. That's a rare one. Actually going for the Tracer. I think probably a conversation there about how effective the Widowmaker was initially on the attack, and they prefer to go for the Tracer. That means they can counteract Ayaku, who's going to be coming in, trying to get as much value as they can, and you can get that duel and support your own Tracer to stop them getting to your backline and forcing out those resources from the likes of Picker. Feur continuing to try and get their reign of dominance complete here. Coming out on Rialto, Away taken to the skies yet again with Away's Mercy pocketing.
A duo like that, they're going to always be pocketed right here, and Weird Tacos having to roll themselves out of that one. They're almost taken out. They definitely need to get healed back up here. It's being very slow, but they're finally starting to get some health right now. But Feur just having a bunch of free card push at the moment. The pressure that Feur is putting onto the Ducks right now is a little bit too great. Mac Daddy Do, first one to fall here, and Protein Shake now in a bad spot.
Yeah, and it's going to stay alive, however, and actually get Away in that tough spot. I guess hard times breed better men. Experimental Ducks really holding in strong for now.
And Experimental Ducks finally starting to contest this cart here a little bit. You see Super here going after maybe Protein Shake, trying to get that large health pack there. Was Weird Tacos, but again, the Ducks here doing what they need to do. Hold this cart here at the choke, but with losing Weird Tacos here, you might see him fall back, not try to lose anyone else. Protein Shake almost able to get rid of Away there, but that pocket could be able to keep him alive.
I love that micro interaction there where Weird Taco's actually trying to get the Mega but Super Sauce just stole it in front of them. That's honestly so sad. Now we're reaching this choke of the first point. Premier trying to set up for a Pulse Bomb to try and get their team in a nice position here without investing too many of their win condition ultimates that they don't yet have.
Ooh.
Oh, but that's a whiff.
That's a huge whiff for them right now, but Experimental Ducks almost forgetting about the cart yet again here. Now the Nano coming out as well as, no, I mean, my bad, the Kasuna Rush coming out, but there are a lot of ultimates coming out right now, and it's all going the way of Feur, already capping this first point with a very, very healthy time bank.
Not half, 4 minutes and 30 seconds to boot here. And you do not need to complete this map. You do not need to complete that second point at all. You need to pretty much get it all of the way, but it's still, you're so close. You still have this Nano coming up. You can put it onto a... Whoop, never mind. That's a nice counter strike there coming out from the Ducks.
I honestly surprised we're not seeing the res come out here, but Protein Shake gonna make sure that res does not happen as they find a ways mercy. And look at what this does to them. They immediately fall back, but Mac Daddy doing Protein Shake. What happened there?
It's if you are just a Counter-Strike team and they're just hitting back harder than they're being hit. Now they have an amazing situation. They're going to get this cart around this final corner and they're going to have this Nano on away. They're going to have this duplicate. Experimental Ducks, they need to get as much done with these ultimates as they can.
Minefield coming out here on point from Weird Tacos away, able to find Protein Shake and Mac Daddy do primary though, able to find Malin, but this is already looking very good here for Feur. They do have some ultimates in their disposal right now if they want to use them. Yaku does have this Pulse Bomb, Picker finds a ways mercy, but the stick onto Primer will get them out of this fight, and now it's up to Weird Tacos, but they'll be taken out. We see Mac Daddy do get back, they're going to be able to get the res off on the Weird Tacos, the Valkyrie coming in clutch. Now the duplicate coming out here from Protein Shake. They're starting to do what they need to do here. Minefields though coming out from Super. It's gonna be very dangerous for the Ducks to keep this contest alive. Protein Shake almost falling out of their duplicate here, but I believe they were able to get a minefield. However, now they just need to try to get rid of the Super here.
Yeah, but the respawn advantage is with the defending team, but they're still losing members left, right, and center against Feur. Protein Shake trying to equalize, but it's difficult.
Oh, but a couple of huge picks coming out there. Mainland falls. Protein Check does fall, though. Away so close, and they're able to find Primaries. They were going for that large health pack. Away's Mercy able to get Mainland back into this one here. Experimental Ducks running out of bodies, but Weird Tacos able to find a way here. The stick onto Mac Daddy Do from Yaku is huge. No mercy, no res left for the Ducks right now, but they're still doing a very good job of contesting this cart. Picker is back as well as Primary. Picker, though, immediately falls. The pile drive coming in, the pulse bomb coming in, won't find anyone, but they're still finding kills here. However, Feur is finding more kills. Minefield coming out here from Weird Tacos on point.
This fight is lasting forever, but another massive race from Mac Daddy Do is keeping it alive. Feur are struggling. How much more does Ayaku need to do? If not one pulse bomb kill, but two in one fight, Dex. This is still going on.
Yeah, the Super Saucy finds Protein Check there. Here comes the good Sooner Rush from Picker. It's going to be on point. Make sure those cooldowns get charged up very fast here. Mac Daddy is going to come back in this one. Malin does have a good sight line here to just anti and get a lot of healing onto the teammates here. But the anti here comes on the Mac Daddy. The Nano coming onto Super here. Yaku able to find Mac Daddy in that backline. Protein Shake falls as well. Experimental Ducks need to have something incredible happening to the pulse bump stick going on to Super here. Not able to kill them there as the minefields come out. Picker falls. It's up to Weird Tacos. They fall. Where's Primer? They're trying to come back, but they get slept. And Feur is one map away from being crowned your grand champions.
Outstanding fight there from both sides, but Ayaku built 3 pulse bombs in that one fight. That is an outstanding feat, and that's not a duplicated Tracer. That's just box standard Tracer gameplay from Hayaku, who's taken it to that next level. And the third one didn't actually need to be used, but the other two, one of them was stuck onto a Tracer. Who does that? That's nasty.
Hey, at a certain point, you're just looking for a body. They found a body, got it to stick, got the kill. It's just, it's just incredible. We've seen, honestly, me and Yuji have seen some incredible Tracer plays in these last 2 days here.
I know, right?
But right now, Feur flipping the tables on Experimental Ducks, one map win away from winning it all here.
Yeah, and they are not shy about it. We're just shy of 1 hour from the start of this broadcast, Dex, and it's already 3-0. It's already match point. And in the next half hour, if you're continuing this, they're going to finish this almost as quick as the first to 3 matchup where the Ducks got them. This is the best level of revenge I have seen in a grand finals match, and it will continue after this short break, so do not go anywhere, folks.
Got lots of love. 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 Got lots of love.
All right, welcome back, everyone, from that break here. Feur on top of the Experimental Ducks here, 3-0 right now. Feur, one map win away from being crowned grand champions here. But can we see the Experimental Ducks start a reverse sweep? Geo, do you think that can happen here?
Anything can happen in life. However, if you are just on that next level, I want to be. I want to be like, oh, they can do it. The Experimental Ducks, they have what it takes, but they have been battered, bruised. The pond is in complete disarray. All of the ugly ducklings are rearing their heads, and Feur are taking advantage of it. And yes, Feur are going to be able to. Ducks are going to be able to choose the next map, but they have a choice of 3 because we're going to push. And given how quick these maps have been, we're going to push now, Dex. I'm terrified that we might break a world record.
But let me ask you this. We've seen Experimental Ducks be really good in the past. They haven't necessarily been as good this series so far, minus probably the first point on Nepal. Which of the 3 maps do you think necessarily plays into what you would expect would be a good comp here for the Experimental Ducks?
Given that they like to play the Genji a lot and even bring out the Reinhardt, you could see them, play on Kalesio. That's definitely a map that they could pick and have chosen. I'm kind of cheating. I have information. But yeah, and the reason why they've chosen it is because they can play that Reinhardt. They can have Giffle come in and do that. Of course, they can also play the Winston there as well. But basically, that Kalesio choke is so narrow and difficult to force through that having a Reinhardt can kind of just brute force it through and get you that advantage on Kalesio. And once you have an advantage, especially on Kalesio, but on push in general, you can play a little bit more relaxed. You're not forced to always be contesting point. And that means that the Ducks can kind of play it to their pace if they can force that point through. But of course, that is only if they are going to be bringing out that Rhine composition on Kalesio.
Yeah, but there are some more subs here for the Experimental Ducks. Reggie coming back in here on the DPS line, and Giffle coming back on the tank. Remember, last time we saw Giffle, it was on King's Row, where they primarily ran a Rhine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and obviously we did see them swap on to the Winston, but you can imagine that Giffle might just be their kind of Rhine-centric or Rhine Winston-centric player, and that's what they want to be doing here. And yep, Premier going to go back to the family of Ducks who are watching and cheering on the team as they are looking down the barrel of a reverse sweep now. If they want to win here in the grand finals, they've had a very tough season. It's not been clean for them like it has been Feur. The fact that they're even here is a testament to their willpower and their ability to come out in the times that are needed, like in a grand finals. This could be their final showing here. The Ducks, they're going to bring it to Feur with the not the Rhine, but the Winston coming out here. Let's see what they can do here on Kalesio.
Yeah, basically Experimental Ducks going back to what they ran on that first map of Nepal again without the ball this time. Giffle going on to this Winston right now, but again, they still have to deal with Away and Away's mercy. However, a nice dive here onto Malin, almost takes care of them, but Giffle will fall first. Malin will fall just after that. In my opinion, kind of a good start here for the Ducks, but as I say that, it starts to go the way of Feur.
It was a good start. You want to get trades like that with Winston, but of course, when you have the Mercy always there, you're going to be able to get a res like that and just nullify the advantage, and very quickly Feur going to get control of the point here. Experimental Ducks sticking to their guns. They know that they can get the advantage. They just need to watch for the counterplay and the res.
Yeah, you immediately see Gibble here dive back onto that backline. However, the entirety of Feur is there to take them out of ways. Mercy, though, will fall to Mac Daddy. Super, though, able to find Reggie right back out. It's just being trades each way here. Away falls right after that. And finally, something goes Experimental Ducks' way. They're able to find the next pick there, giving them the numbers advantage. However, Feur still does have their tank.
Now, the longer the fight goes, the more it's actually in Feur's compositional favor because of that Diva and the kind of slower pace and peel pace that they want to play. But if you lose your Mercy at the very start of it, that changes things and creates opportunities for like a Protein Shake, who does have the Pulse Bomb. So does Yaku on the other side, however. So these Tracers going to be looking to opening these fights with these bombs.
Gibble again diving back in there onto that support line, trying to find anyone. Reggie able to find a ways Mercy. Here comes a pulse bomb. It's gonna be able to find Mac Daddy. Do a huge pickoff there for Feur, but Super eats Protein Shakes. Pulse bomb there, an even bigger play coming out here from Feur right there. Picker able to find a way. Gibble though does fall. A bomb coming out there from Super. Just get back in the mech, but Yaku and Malin will pretty much clean up this fight.
Yeah, Yaku's Pulse Bomb got the value, and nice from Super to eat theirs up, that being Protein Shakes. Now it's more on the other DPS. Both of these Echoes, they have their duplicates, and well, Away is going to be able to choose the Winston and go really hard, get that Primal Rage and have that second life. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for Reggie here.
Yeah, you see the Ducks here retake control of the bot, but Super right there kind of denied. The Coalescence coming out here from Malin. They're trying to find anyone they possibly can. Giffle getting incredibly low. The Suzu used to keep them alive. The duplicate here used by Away to duplicate in, or by Reggie to duplicate into the Diva. Not going to be able to get a bomb off of it. It looks like Picker, though, able to find Malin right back. But Away finds Reggie right back there. Feur just picking up the kills they need to at least keep this, or to at least keep this lead.
Away is clutching onto their art like it's perils, but finally they're going to spill the beans, and does get some value here. Is it enough to turn the fight?
Picker able to find a way there. Mac Daddy Dudo does fall right before that. However, it's just kind of playing like ping pong right now with this bot. Feur lets the Ducks take control of it for a little bit, and then Feur just comes back, wins a fight. Doesn't really gain a lot of space, though.
Yeah, I think Away maybe held on to that duplicate a little too long. Experimental Ducks have a lot in their arsenal now. If they can rotate this rush nicely, they can definitely secure a nice forward spawn.
Both support ultimates coming out here from the Ducks. They want to try to get this lead right now. Reggie falling back, but look who's right there. Iaku to take care of them. Giffle does jump back though to try to get rid of them. However, not finding enough here. They will get the pulse bomb stick there on to Giffle, but Giffle gets a little bit angry because of that, and they're going to start throwing some hands. However, Away does find Figure there. Away's Mercy though does fall as well, but Super comes right back with a trade on to Mac Daddy. No supports left for Experimental Ducks. Protein Shake though keeping this fight alive, finds a way, but with Giffle falling there, Feur should be able to take control of the spot back.
Again, yeah, it's another prolonged fight, and that it just plays into what Feur want with their composition, especially when I was talking about rotating that Kitsune Rush. What you didn't want to see was both support ults come out at the same time, and essentially mean you did not have that beat for the later stages of that sustain. And look at Feur being incredibly smart. They still have the lead. They don't need to press their advantage as of yet. They can bait them in for a coalesce push.
And Mac Daddy falling early yet again. It's been something we've seen a lot so far this series. You cannot lose the support, especially a Lucio this early. And look, Feur now adding on to their lead.
Yes, it's going to be tough, especially when you're losing your Lucio early every time. You're not going to have that speed for the rotations here, and Super Sauce is just living rent-free in the backline.
Yaku able to find Reggie there. The stick coming out from Protein Shake onto Malin, but Away immediately trades that back out onto Giffle. We saw Protein Shake there throwing some hands at Away's Mercy, not able to take care of them there. Super though finds Picker, Mac Daddy able to find Away's Mercy right there. And now again, it's just each team looking for the next pick. Super gonna be able to find Mac Daddy, but it's immediately trade back out there onto Away.
These long fights, they do typically go the way of Feur, but Experimental Ducks finding some value with it. In fact, the bomb has been utilized to keep this fight going so that they can try and push towards their forward spawn, but the spawn advantage right now is for the Ducks, so Feur, they need to back up for a moment. Away is going to have this duplicate. Reggie also, but Away couldn't get it nice and quick here. I want to see them use it sooner rather than later than we've seen before.
Both duplicates ready right now. Away immediately duplicates into this Winston right now. Super able to find Protein Shake. Away finds Mac Daddy Do. They're going to start throwing some hands of their own here. They're going to be focusing here on Picker. Reggie falls, Picker falls, and essentially that's basically it. It's all up to Giffle, but a Giffle will eventually fall, and now Feur might be able to add on to their lead here.
We are now at 3 minutes 30 remaining. Feur have a very solid lead, not only in terms of distance traveled with the bot, but in terms of just the momentum. And Experimental Ducks, they have a full arsenal of ults here. They cannot use them all.
And they start off again like they did last time with both support ultimates coming out. They need to try to find some kills off of this, but they're not finding anything yet. Reggie does use their duplicate there to keep themselves alive. They duplicate into this mortar. Look, now they're finally starting to find the kills here. Iaku, they're able to find Picker right back, but it's not that much of a loss here right now as Reggie still here in this other support right now. We see Super get demeched here, and they will just jump off the map, but they have this incredible lead here at the moment, and only about 2.5 minutes left to go.
That was a costly fight for Ducks. I don't know why we're beating with the Kitsune Rush. Is there a communication disconnect in the support line of the Ducks? We didn't see Mac Daddy do much in the last match with Feur, so maybe they're just out of practice with Picker. And Feur, they're going to walk into this one, come up to a Coalescence, a bomb, and the Pulse.
Giffle here will pop the Primal Rage to keep themselves alive. The Pulse Bomb finds one. Reggie does find a way. This is a good start here for the Experimental Ducks, and you try to turn it into some more kills. Giffle able to find a Way's Mercy. This is even better. The lead only to 22 meters right now for Feur, but the pressure coming out from the Experimental Ducks might be just enough to get them that lead.
Oh, that's a great final pick there from Iaku from Giffle, and you might get the lead here. And again, Feur are just being too conservative with their ultimates. It's the opposite issue that the Ducks have, but if you're using ultimates, you're going to have the advantage of the Ducks right now at the verge of a forward spawn.
Oh, a huge pick coming out there by Reggie now. They just need to try to get rid of Giffle here. That's a huge pick for Feur. Pulse Bomb coming out there from Iaku. Will not find anyone. 2 meters, less than 2 meters now is the difference between Experimental Ducks being the lead and Feur being the lead. Bomb coming out here. It's gonna find Reggie. Protein Shake also falls. This is starting to fall apart here for the Ducks.
It was looking so good for them, but at the final hurdle, they struggled. They didn't get the lead, but at least they got it very close to that forward spawn. So if they are able to win this next fight, it won't be too hard to push. This next fight is so important for the rest of this match. With only 1 minute remaining, can one of these teams unlock their forward spawn and pretty much secure this map for themselves?
Feur does have the ultimates to use right now. 3 ready to go. Here comes the Casino Rush from Picker. Oh my goodness, Malin try to use their Coalescence, but get canceled out there by Protein Shake. Away though, immediately able to trade out Picker, so it's pretty even across the board right now. Reggie does not have their mech left. The duplicate coming out here from Away. They will not be able to get a Primal Rage off of it. This is looking great for the Ducks. They just need to try to clean up this fight and get control of the bot.
Yeah, but again, they've used both support ultimates. They have no more sustainability here. They're struggling.
The Pulse Bomb comes out there from Protein Shake. Does not find anyone. Away, though. Able to find Giffle. Mac Daddy Do falls as well. Away, finding the picks they need to here. Make it 3. Can they make it 4?
So close to it. 14 seconds on the board. They're going to unlock their forward spawn for this final fight. That's so crucial here. It's going to be the final fight. They do not have any support ults from both these sides. It's all on the DPS, and Away again comes big.
Reggie falling here first. Overtime has commenced. Down goes Giffle. It's starting to look like the end of the Cinderella run. The stick from Iaku finds Mac Daddy Do. Picker falls as well. It's only up to Protein Shake, but Protein Shake falls. Now Reggie back. Gonna duplicate here. Not gonna get a bomb off of it. They're gonna not be long for this world after that. The duplicate falls there, but we do see Giffle come back in. They're angry. Here comes the bomb though from Super. That might do it. They get the crush kill, and that's gonna be what ends it here. Feur gonna sweep the Experimental Ducks right back to be crowned your grand finals champions.
They ended it like they started it. Feur with a dominant showing throughout the regular season, only losing one series to the Experimental Ducks, but this revenge must feel oh so sweet as they stand now as the Grand Champions here in the Grandmaster tier. This is a beautiful story here between Feur and Ducks.
Yeah, an absolutely beautiful story. Like we've talked about a lot throughout this series here. Experimental Ducks, 3-5 in the regular season. Feur, undefeated. Winners finals. Experimental Ducks sweeps them. Something that I think surprised everyone. And then Feur drops down that losers final immediately once it gets their revenge and then never looks back from that. It looked like they were angry this entire series, and it really does show.
Yeah, and they were exploiting a lot of weaknesses. I mean, Ducks, time and time again, they beat the Kitsune Rush at the same time, almost as if it was a strategy, which it could very well be, but it's too costly. You don't want to be using both your support ultimates at the same time. You want to stagger those, but that was a very close match. Probably the closest match that we've seen actually in this series. Because I mean, I think so. You know, both the bot was very close to unlocking the forward spawn for both sides. But yeah, Feur in the end able to secure it, and we will have a little talk with one of these newly crowned Grand Champions after a short break. So don't go anywhere, and we'll hear from a member of Feur in just a moment.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We are pleased to be joined by Super Sosa here, the tank for your Grand Champions, Feur. Super, congrats on the win. How does it feel, man?
It feels great, like, because we lose against the Ducks in winner final, so it's great to win against them again.
Yeah, I guess my first question would be, you know, after that defeat against the Ducks, what was your preparation like coming into the grand finals? Were you VOD reviewing that match? Were you looking for the weaknesses of the Ducks?
Well, we didn't play together before the final, like for a week and a half. We were busy, so the ones was really available to stream. So we, we didn't know if we gonna win because we didn't play together since a while. And I don't know how we won, but I think they didn't play Sombra so much, so it helped us maybe with a ball comp or things like that. Things like that.
All right. So not too much preparation then. Definitely more of a improvisational kind of style. Yeah. So a lot of those fights lasted for a very long time. On Rialto, there was a fight that I swear lasted maybe 3 minutes long. And fights like those, what are your communications like? Is it chaotic? Is it ordered? What does it sound like in the VC?
Uh, it's kind of chaotic because if we don't focus the same targets, it's gonna get really chaotic, and we are gonna lose this fight often time. But on this match particularly, we had a really good shot calling, and everyone was focusing the same target. And it was a problem before. I think it was why we lost the first match against the Ducks. We were kind of not playing together, and this time it was really great. I'm proud of my players. It was cool.
Nice.
One final question here. It really seemed like after that first point there on Nepal, you guys had figured something out there, and you guys never looked back from it. Like you said, they didn't play with the Sombra this time, but was there anything else that kind of caught you guys by surprise that the Ducks maybe tried to come out with that you guys immediately just kind of said like, "Oh, we got this"?
I think, like before, I was not playing Diva at all. Like of the start of the season, I'm not a Diva player at all. And because we screamed a lot of Sombra and everything like that, I start playing Diva because it's kind of a counter for Sombra and it helps to peel the backline. And because our supports, Mylin, gets dive a lot, and it helps sometimes to have more protection than a ball. So we absolutely we get rolled at the first side, and we are like, okay, what do we do? And I said, let's go Diva and see what happens, and it was great.
Certainly was. But before we let you go back and celebrate with your team here, is there anyone or anything you kind of want to shout out?
Okay, shout out to my team, to Away, to Yaku, to Skinzo, to Lin, and shout out to the best manager in the world, Gartopper. I think he's the best manager you can have in the world, like the best manager ever.
Yeah, gotta respect the managers for sure. Well, we'll let you get back to your team and celebrate. Thank you for joining us, and again, congratulations on the big win.
Thank you guys, it was a great tourney. I like it a lot. It's great.
Brilliant. Great to hear. Well, Dex, that ends it for us today. A very quick grand finals compared to last night, but still a very entertaining one.
Yeah, very entertaining one. And there were a couple times where I thought the Experimental Ducks might have been able to turn it around, but we just saw some incredible plays come out from Feur here tonight, and not any individual plays that we saw basically in what we casted yesterday, but it seemed like Super Sozi had said there, a lot of communication, a lot of great team plays coming out from Feur here today, and I really believe in the end that's why they are the champions.
Absolutely. It might have been their flaw in the first match against the Ducks, but certainly it was their strength here, and they have won it out in the grand finals. But yeah, that's the end of the broadcast tonight. Check out your CGL announcements and socials for any other upcoming streams. There's plenty more finals and grand finals coming out in EU and NA, all across the Atlantic Ocean, essentially. So definitely get involved. But yep, don't forget to laugh loud and love yourself, folks. Good night.